Hi, my name is Indeara Eastman, and I'm doing this video today for Lunch Club and Jeff Walker. I started my journey with Jeff Walker a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago. At the time, I was a full-time accountant, and I had my own accounting practice, and I had never done anything in an online-based business. And what had happened was I was living in, what had happened was I had moved from Arizona to San Diego, and all of my clients at the time were in Arizona, and I had to start a new life in San Diego. And so starting new in San Diego, not having my current client base, I had to reach out to start working on an online platform and starting to diversify. I'd had one of my biggest dreams and wishes come true, which is I'd gotten pregnant. What I didn't realize that during the pregnancy I would have over 50 to 100 doctor visits, and I was very, very sick during the pregnancy. So it was a very challenging pregnancy, and when I did give birth to the baby, at the time I had bought PLF, and I'd had a cesarean, and I really wasn't healing. So there was what I was able to do before I was pregnant and before the baby. Physically, my body just couldn't do it anymore at that time. And to make matters worse, I literally, our landlord, who we had had a lease, knowing I'd moved in pregnant, literally gave us notice to leave, that he was selling the condo in San Diego. And so I was in San Diego, and here I am, I'm not healing, and I'd taken a trip to visit John in Arizona, back to Sedona, where we used to live, and Jeff Walker was doing a big launch was going on with Justin and Callan Rush and Eben Pagan and Christian Michelson and a lot of the amazing coaches and teachers that I've been blessed to know, and been able to invest in a lot of their programs. And when I bought PLF, the thing was can I make it, without having to get a job, to, with the new baby and the cesarean, would I be able to make it as a new mom, not having to have a job? And that was my first goal. And the second goal was, would I be able to get a home for the baby that is a stable and permanent home? And so when I followed PLF, the formula, what mattered to me most, or what made it worthwhile for me, was that I have I'm not like a perfectionist in a lot of things. I used to be like a straight A student, an overachiever, and creates a lot of problems for me because I tend to want things to be right and exact and precise, and having a linear, logical accounting mind, everything's like stacks of papers and files, and I didn't know how I was going to make it in this new world. I didn't think I would ever get paid, but I was struggling and I was suffering so much, and I had no choice because of my physical condition and a new little one, but to start a new life and a dream life. Total, even though I'd had my own business, this was a whole new game for me. When Jeff was making the offer for Launch Club, I'd been praying to be able to be part of that group or part of his team, because if it wasn't for Jeff Walker making a decision many, many, many years ago to create a family life, create a place where he could take care of his family, and make way for that. My highest values are people and family and the transformation and standing for other people and allowing them to change. And what Launch Club did for me was gave me that confidence. There were we would be able to submit like our landing pages, or we'd be able to submit. I had things done in the past, but I would never be able to launch it. I would never share it because I didn't have the confidence, or I didn't have the all the pieces together. And Jeff had done as a bonus in the Seed Launch Challenge and Launch Club, he had done a 2 or 3 day thing where we could just, get it all done in like a day and a half or over a weekend. And I committed that whole day or two, and we did everything, and we submitted it to Launch Club, and the feedback in the community was phenomenal. The people in the community allowed me to have a safe place to test my ideas and to provide that invaluable feedback. And from that feedback, I was able to launch a program that I called the Meaningful Wealth Mastermind, which was based on the success of Mind Power for Success. But here I am launching it brand new again, and doing a mini seed launch with it again. And when I did, I don't know. I'm usually very, very honest. I'm very emotional. I just I poured my heart out in one of the videos because Jeff Walker and and Launch Club gave me the confidence that it was okay to be truthful and honest and communicate and heart-centered and soul-centered, and it's okay to launch what was in my spirit, what mattered to me most. And that was a program that I was calling Soul Mastery level 1 through 4, and it was a Meaningful Wealth Summit. I didn't know what it would do or wouldn't do. I didn't even finish all of the videos. I just kept putting the sequence that Jeff was saying, and I'd gotten to a point at one point in Launch Club when it was a godsend. It was so overwhelming, all the pieces. And that's what Launch Club was doing for me, was clearing it up, and it was check marking. Okay, I got this, and organizing all of the information in a really beautiful way. And as I was doing that, I got a physical copy of Jeff Walker's book, and I literally did that video, seriously reading. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell the story of my first video 3 years ago when I did PLF. My hair was orange, it was wide. I did what Jeff said. I asked for feedback. 8 people said, we can't see you because your hair is so big. It was it was good feedback. So then I for Launch Club, I decided to get my hair fixed, and so I got a lot of compliments. It's crazy. It's funny, but when I got the book, Jeff Walker's book, that book saved my future and my destiny and my dreams and my hopes, and it allowed me to jumpstart my program again, and because there's so many important pieces in communicating online and in video work that if we miss it, we don't really connect with someone. And anyways, I was literally in tears, and I was at the point of giving up, and Launch Club, I just showed up, and I did the best I could. In my heart, I pray that I get the opportunity to stay in Launch Club for a year or however long, and I'd like to be in Platinum, because Launch Club has allowed me to earn over 6 figures, and being a saver, being an accountant, I understand leverage and investments. So I was able to use that to invest in several real estate properties, and in a couple of properties in another state, and I was able to make more money on that, and more than that, though. More than that. The thing I'm kind of getting in my accounting world, but more than that, what it did was the video sequence that Jeff had us do, that I could be truthful. I had one person say, one woman called me up who knew me, and she said, "Hey, Indeara, you're usually very happy and bubbly, and you're da-da-da," and so the video, and in my heart I was like, oh, well, I don't know, but I listened to Jeff, and I listened to Launch Club, and I put that video out anyway. And what I was talking about was a very painful story about losing my mom and the murder of my sister and what moved my life to the West Coast from the East Coast. And um, lo and behold, one of my ultra high-end clients today and packages, which you know, is over $50,000. That video was launching that product because as a mom and busy, I wanted to launch an ultra high-end program done for you with everything all inclusive with business startup, setting up the filming and the accounting and the whole works from A to Z for a seven-figure business blueprint. And I didn't know where to start, but I just put out a video, and it was a simple video about my story. And then when I emailed the video to my list, it's not a big list. Um, some of it was a warm list, and I'd get an open rate of about 120 people. And that customer agreed to invest in the program. And more than that, she's been in the program several months, and from that confidence, I launched the same program to a couple of other people,